Now, this is just such a disturbing story. The death toll has now risen to 5 after the collapse of an apartment block in Miami, Florida. At this point, there are 156 people still unaccounted for after this high-rise building built in the 1980s collapsed in the middle of the night on Thursday. Now, rescue teams have been using everything from machines, drones, and specially trained dogs to try to find survivors, but time seems to be running out. And as the search continues, so are efforts to figure out what caused the shocking collapse. An engineer's report back from 2018, 3 years ago, has just been made public about the building, which highlighted major structural damage due to a lack of proper drainage and referred to abundant cracking of columns, beams, and walls in the garage. The complex was actually slated to undergo a multi-million-dollar refurbishment this year as well. Well, joining us now is Michael Strongen, a paramedic for Hatzalah of South Florida and Magen David Adom. So, first of all, I think that this collapse has people from around the world second-guessing the safety of their own buildings. How many survivors have rescue teams actually been able to pull out of the rubble here?
Good evening, and thanks for having me on today. Unfortunately, this is a difficult time here in this community. I'm proud to say that the Hatzalah South Florida teams have been doing a tremendous job in conjunction with their teams from Miami-Dade Fire Rescue, as well as Magen David Adom that has a representative here, in triaging and treating families of the missing, as well as those who actually managed to escape from the building early on Thursday. We had arrived on scene early in the morning, established a command center, and then initially some of the folks at the community center were really serving as a liaison role, helping police and other authorities gather names from family members of their missing loved ones. We realized very quickly that there was a different need that we were able to really help fulfill. Now, as people had left their building in the middle of the night and been able to escape their lives, but not necessarily their blood pressure medication. There are people that were having cuts and scrapes, panic attacks, chest pain, and that was where we realized that there was a need. And that we established this first aid center in the community center, and basically built a small center to help them over the course of a very short period of time. And we began to see something that, frankly, I've only seen in Israel with Magen David Adom. That's in Hebrew, it's the nifkei charada, and that's that just completely debilitating panic that people shut down with. And we started to see the beginning of that on Thursday, unfortunately, here.
Now, break down the search efforts for us. How are teams able to figure out where to look? Because you look at this rubble, it's a complete mess, obviously. And how are you able to find signs of life within this?
So we're on the medical, emergency medical side of things. So Hatzalah has teams at the moment situated at the site itself, right next to the rubble, so that if the search and rescue teams themselves need medical assistance, we're there. When families and others come to visit, if there are needs, we're able to meet those. We saw the IDF rescue team earlier today. We were with them. We're also still at the Family Reunification Center and providing assistance continuously. At this point, we've been able to treat dozens of people who unfortunately have had, whether it's acute medical needs or other incidents that we've been able to assist with here.
These are people who have been pulled from the rubble, or who are these people that you're treating exactly right now? Are they family members?
At this point, for the most part, they're family members or other concerned friends who are waiting for news of their loved ones and of the rescue effort. And as you can imagine, there's tremendous amount of anxiety, which can in and of itself lead to other medical issues. In addition to what we certainly saw, at least on the first day, people that had been able to pull themselves from the rubble were seeking treatment for their injuries and their condition.
Now, I know that you're not part of one of these search groups that are trying to find people within the rubble, but I'm sure that being on the ground, you do have a sense of what's going on. At this point, how likely is it that there are any more survivors? And what are the families doing right now? So
what's amazing and really witnessing this community come together, the community of Surfside and overall the Jewish community of South Florida. I think that the commander of the IDF Homefront Command Search and Rescue Unit said this perfectly earlier today. There's always hope. And I saw this morning the last time I was down at the site, rescuers who, well, they definitely looked tired. They definitely looked physically exhausted. And the teams have definitely been doing a ton of work, and they've been rotating to get some rest. But they looked like they knew they were still there for a reason. So I think there are a lot of people, certainly the families, but definitely the rescuers as well, who are really looking forward to having good news soon.